fake tan has been around for decades now, and whether you're a mad tanner or you tried it in the 80s and had some terrible FT tragedy and never went back, I'm sure we all acknowledge the fact that it is here to stay. And whether you like it or not, having a fake colour makes you feel, healthy and alive, doesn't it? That's what a fake tan can do for you.
That's exactly right. Yeah, it makes us feel confident in our own skin. And I think this all kind of ties back into my previous career as a hairdresser for 10 years. I mean, my job was to make people feel confident. Like they come in, they're not, whatever's going on in their life at the time, and they're not feeling great, or, maybe they're not well, or, and you do this incredible, it's artistic, you do this amazing job on someone's hair, and they leave so happy in that for the next couple of weeks in their life, or however long their color or cut lasts. They're a different person, which is really special to be able to do that. Same with kind of what I do as a career with tanning, bringing people on board that have never tanned before, and they're putting it on people and noticing, how great they're looking, their skin's so clear, their eyes, and making people feel really confident, which is a really magical thing to be able to do.
It is. It's not a false sense of security, is it? It's an added confidence. It's a layer.
Yeah, very true. A layer. Yes, I like that, actually. A layer. Yeah, that's great. I'm going to use that one.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. So how did Three Warriors come about as a brand, Corbin?
So how it all started, I worked in the beauty industry for 10 years as a hairdresser, and I actually woke up one day with some pretty crazy migraines, and they're in the back of my head, these headaches, and they were so bad to the point where I stand up and be really dizzy, and I thought, oh, maybe I've got a bit of a virus or something, and you kind of shake it off a bit, take some Panadol or Nurofen or whatever you've got. And it just got worse and worse, and I'd be trying to go to work because I was so busy at the time. And I start blacking out and passing out in the salon. And they take me to hospital, into the emergency, and they found that I had blood pressure sitting at 200 over 125. So that's up in quite dangerous. It's like kind of stroke zones, and for a 24-year-old.
And what were you around here, like 20? Yeah, 24. Crazy.
I was 24 at the time, so it's pretty scary. And I just progressively got worse and worse. So over the next 4 years, my health declined. I ended up with chronic nerve pain throughout my arms and my legs and bottom of my feet. And I don't know if anyone's ever had that before, but it's a very, very painful thing. And it just consistently was, 24 hours a day going just pain all the time. I also developed all these other weird little health problems and symptoms, a lot of gut health problems, reflux, all these things that you don't think you're going to get when you're 24 years old. And I was diagnosed with a condition called chronic inflammatory response syndrome. What that is, it's basically an overexposure to toxins. And I was being exposed to black mold in a rental apartment. I actually didn't know it was underneath the floor of my rental apartment at the time. No. So black mold is a whole another thing. It's a very nasty bacteria. It shoots spores out in the air, and you're breathing it in. It stores into the tissues in your body. And that's made me very, very unwell. So I had to give up my career, and I had a mortgage to pay. 24 years old and you're trying to pay a mortgage is not easy. My mum moved into my house and helped me pay my mortgage, and I was bedridden for years and years and years, and they could not figure out how to get me better. So in that time, I've got red hair, I live in Tasmania. My family are all tan, they're all sun babies, and I'm pale and I never tan. And I was like, I still want to see people, like I'm very social. So I started researching the market, looking for something that was organic in the tanning field. And tried to certify it. Wasn't much around, so I tried one in the market. It didn't go very well on my skin. It made me look quite orange, and it was quite powerful, the scent of it. And so this gave me an idea about researching about the ingredients and products and formulations. So I started formulating my own product, and that's how Three Warriors was originally born. I formulated it for myself. It took 2 years to formulate it. And my friend tried it, and she owned a salon at the time, and she's like, I want to stock it at my salon. And the rest is history. We're 5 years into the business now, and we're launching international next week. So it's insane.
That's awesome. And you've got to love friends like that are going to back you all the way. Being a hairdresser, obviously you would have been around a lot of chemicals, mixing colours, formulations all the time, but had no idea, obviously, of that toxicity in hair product. Were you working in an organic salon at the time, or is it something that you now look for that as well?
Yeah, look, I think when you're a hairdresser, it's not healthy. I mean, and when you also think you're on your feet for 13 hours a day, you're busy. Like hairdressers work very, very hard. And when you mix the colour up, you get a bit of a headache, or a bit funny from all the toxic fumes. So in the back of your mind, it's not good for you, but I didn't know to the extreme until I got sick, and so I started looking into it and was like, wow, we're breathing this in every day, not just hair chemicals. We're using lathering stuff on our skin every day as well. It's going past the blood-brain barrier, it's going to your skin, it's absorbing into your body. It is going to make you sick eventually. Like, I was 24 when this happened. Like, we're lathering stuff. We are going to become unwell.
One of the toughest things about launching any product or any brand is coming up with a catchy name. And Three Warriors is such a cool name. You could have put this to so many products and brands, but it certainly has a really strong place in your heart. Can you tell us how Three Warriors came about as the name?
Yeah, it's a very special thing to me, Three Warriors name. My father was a cray fisherman here in Tasmania, and when I was 10 years old, he was killed in a boating accident. Him and his two best friends were, their boat was taken by a freak wave, which is very rare to happen here in Tasmania, and all three of them went missing. So it was a really tough time for us all. And my brother, sister, and I'm the youngest of three, band together, and my mum called us the Three Warriors. That's where the name's a tribute to my father. The Warriors a tribute to my debilitating health issues that I had for 10 years as well.
Perfect. Oh, that is a beautiful story. Well, very sad story, but a perfect story.
Yeah, it's been a very long time, but still a special thing. It's nice to be able to dedicate something to him. He was a very good looking man. Whoa! I was looking at some photos of him yesterday, and my friend was like, "Oh my god!"
You're like, "Yeah, that's my dad. Back off."
That's my dad. Yeah, leave me alone.
Can't you see the resemblance? Yes.
Yeah, can't you see? He didn't have red hair though, and he was tan.
Well, that's even more.
I don't know where the
isn't
skin came from. I don't know where it came from, but anyway,
maybe
the milkman or something.
Yeah, don't. One of the things about a tan that isn't from the sun is always the fade. And what happens, 5 to 7 days after a great tan is the fact it either starts to peel off or you get very blotchy. Tell us how you've combated that with Three Warriors.
It's the ingredient, Shelley. It's all about the ingredients. So I've sourced this beautiful Tasmanian olive oil. It comes from Flinders Island, so off Tassie. These incredible two old women still press the olives themselves. It's like this green goo, and I get it, and it's the most hydrating, incredible ingredient you can put in your skin. So this stops the tan getting dry in the skin, cracking off, getting that, we like to call it the crocodile skin look. Also, it doesn't have any thianoxyethanol, any artificial pigments that are in the tanning on the market products. So no nasty chemicals, no artificial dyes or pigments. It's all plant-based, natural, and vegetable derived. So it will never stain your clothes, and it also won't go dry and crackly on the skin.
So tell us about the philosophy behind Three Warriors. What's most important to you about your brand?
The most important thing in my brand is to educate the consumer, so educate the customer, so who's wearing the product, about what you're putting in your skin, what can happen long term with these ingredients that you might be using in your products you don't know about. So educating on what you should know about reading the labels. And also my long-term goal of the whole thing is to make you feel confident in your own skin. Putting something on, it makes you feel confident and be happy and healthy. That's what it's about. You have one life, you look after your body. Your body's, very important to you. So you need it to be healthy. And
it can still look awesome at the same time.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So how did you even start? How did you formulate your first product?
Oh, it's just a very exciting question. People ask me this a lot. So I like to call formulating, or I guess biochemistry it is, as like cooking. So it's like cooking in the kitchen. It's different. I found all my favorite chemical-based product tans, and I researched each ingredient component and found the plant-derived, the vegetable, the natural, and the organic-derived ingredient per that chemical. And it's a matter of percentages and heating it up to a certain temperature, cooling it down to make sure everything mixations properly. That's how formulation works. So it took years and years and years to get this right. But I also have a very close friend that is a biochemist, so I did get a little bit of help with it.
That helps. Otherwise, it's just like the nutty professor going crazy in his kitchen, which is a little bit scary.
I definitely went crazy. And I was every colour under the sun. I was blue, pink, yellow, green. So
self-testing, not animal testing, Corbin testing.
Yeah. So the really exciting thing about, I think, why Three Warriors is doing so well in the market today is obviously being certified organic is really important, certified toxic free, vegan and cruelty free, but it's the color and the performance. It's a high performing, I like to say, skincare range, because each ingredient has been carefully chosen for its purpose to make sure that it's nourishing for our skin and hydrating, which is one of the most important things that comes to skincare or tanning. And it's the color. We use a beautiful plant-derived violet color, which stops any warm tones to develop. So there's no orange tones, no that stinky tan. There's no tanning smell in it, and it lasts. It lasts for ages. It's really great. It just fades off really beautifully and even.
I used to be a mad tanner and a mad fake tanner, and then I did. There was one point where I was putting it on almost, every week, and I just felt, as you said earlier on, this can't be good for me. This actually putting a layer on top of my skin that smells horrendous and actually looks like a second skin on top. It wasn't part of me, and I just stopped. So this is really exciting to hear that there is now this product which is, as you say, animal cruelty-free, vegan, completely organic, and please say that it smells good too.
It smells amazing. Yeah, that was a really difficult thing when it comes to formulating and using something that's certified organic and finding plant-derived ingredients. I mean, there's not much on the market that you can actually use that is, you can use it and say it's natural and plant-derived. So to have those certifications, like certified Australian toxic-free and certified organic, we need to comply with strict regulations to ensure that each ingredient is safe for you. So I actually chose to use vanilla and lime extract. So it's really subtle, but there is literally no tanning smell in it, the formulation at all.
So what's your favourite product? I know you've got an amazing range. You've got mists, you've got mousses, you've got gradual tanners. What's your favourite?
My favourite product is the self-tan mousse because it's an instant tan. So you can see where you've applied it. It's got quite a dark bronzer in there, and use it with our eco-friendly tanning mitt. And you apply it on, it dries in 30 seconds, and you wash it off after 1 hour for a light tan or 5 hours for a dark tan. And I love washing off after 4 hours. I like to be quite medium, rich, like Maldives glow. It lasts for 8 days. I just reapply it again in 8 days' time. So good.
So good. You might be a bit too young for this, but I remember when I was growing up, there was suntan versus reef tan. Maybe on your bottles you need to do like Gold Coast tan, Maldives tan, Caribbean tan, like the deeper you want to go.
I like that, Shelley.
The longer you leave it on for.
Right? I like that. That's a good idea. I'll definitely look into that one.
Yeah, you could use it too. Okay, from the pro.
I was saying I actually went to the Maldives a couple of years ago for a holiday. I had a spray tan of I've got a spray tan, it's a professional range as well. So that's really lovely. And we use it a lot on television, and there's a lot of amazing people wearing it. And I went over there and met these two amazing Australian couple, and I was really tan, like looking amazing. And I was swimming with them. And then as the days progressed, I got lighter and lighter where everyone else was getting darker from the sun. They look at me and they're like, "What's going on here?" I came back from the Maldives so pale, where everyone came back super tanned. That was only a downside of a spray tan when I got home before I saw everybody.
And so many people do. They go, "I'm off on a tropical holiday. I better get a tan first." It's
exactly.
We've all done it. Absolutely.
Safe and in sun.
So, what is the best way to apply a fake tan?
The best way to apply the Three Warriors self-tanning range would be to use our Tasmanian sand scrub. It's this beautiful exfoliant that I made from the east coast of Tassie, and that's where I'm originally from, in St Helens. It's called the Bay of Fires, which is like our backyard there. So it's like the white sand, the see-through water. So we get the sand off there. It's all been organically washed and cut super fine to make it non-abrasive for the face as well. So use that with our exfoliating glove we just launched last week. And you exfoliate your full body with it, and then you wait 24 hours and then using the self-tanning products. And that just gives you a really smooth surface and makes sure it sheds all the dead skin cells to make sure that your tan is flawless every single time. Yeah, it's really important to do that.
What is next for Three Warriors? It sounds like you do have a lot of products still up your sleeve.
Ooh, there is. I can tell you that we are currently, I've actually signed off and formulated another range, and we're looking to launch that through winter. I am launching another product next month, and it's a body care tan. That's all I can tell you about that one. You have to check out and watch our Instagram for that. And winter, it's something not tanning, so it's a different range, but to do with the face and body. So that's going to be coming out in the middle of winter. And yeah, as I said before, we're launching to 5 different countries on Sunday. I'm flying to Europe. That's really exciting. So we get to go global with the brand, not anywhere I expected the brand was going to be. So yeah, it's exciting. It's lots happening. I'm very,
That
very
is
busy.
really, really exciting. And look, congratulations on an Aussie-made, Aussie-owned brand that is going places. It's really exciting for us to see that happening too. You obviously have Sonia Kruger, the beautiful Sonia, on board as your ambassador. You couldn't have done any better than that. If there's any lady who's got the legs and the tan, it's her. So she's going to help you go far, that's for sure.
I love Sonia. I actually had the pleasure to meet her a couple of weeks ago in Sydney for lunch, and we had a long lunch. It was lovely, and we went into David Jones, into one of our stockists, and we had so much fun. And she is the most down to earth person I've ever met. She's lovely, and I love working with her. And I feel very lucky that she's partnered with Three Warriors.
Well,
So
she's
yeah,
lucky to have you
she's
too,
great.
Corbin. That is great.
Thanks, Shelley.
Three Warriors, get on board. You can buy it, of course, through the website and available in all good stores.
Thanks, Shelley.